Hello, welcome to the KJ Today Show. It is 60 minutes of positive vibes packed with pop culture, people to know, and pets. And you have joined us on a very special night. It is our Supernatural special. Joining
finally.
us tonight is, of course, producer Jonna,
Hello.
who is a huge fan of Supernatural.
Yes.
We went to the Supernatural, the Giving Tour convention here in Indianapolis.
So much fun.
So much fun. So many great memories.
I know.
We'll get into that in a little bit. If you are joining us for the first time as a Supernatural fan, number one, we've got What's Poppin' in Pop Culture with producer Jonna and some breaking news from Jensen Ackles.
Breaking.
Which we literally just like a moment ago, we're like, oh, put that in the What's Poppin'.
Right. Pop culture is going to take up some time tonight, guys.
And, I don't want to overhype this, but Jonna, you listen to it too. When I was talking with Rich Williams, a legendary guitarist from Kansas, about, of course, I'm going to ask him about Supernatural, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was like a fanboy ready to talk about it.
Yeah. He was so excited. I was listening to it and I was like, he sounds like he really likes Supernatural.
Yes. But he was throwing out some information that I had not heard. So I don't want to say this is like breaking or never heard before. Maybe you're watching and you're like, oh yeah, I heard that somewhere. But for me, and I double checked with a couple of my sources who are pretty in with the Supernatural family, and they were also like, I don't think anybody knows that about Supernatural. So we've got some exciting, maybe possibly breaking news, new to us, about how Supernatural was supposed to end.
Wait till you guys hear it.
Oh my gosh, right?
It's so exciting.
And then we have some really fun moments from PopCon with Samantha Smith, Jake Abel, and Alaina Huffman. So much fun to come. And later on in the show, we've been telling you about Summer Bash Indiana, which is coming July 8th and 9th. We're actually going to get the organizer on to tell us more about the bands. He's a cat dad, so he fits in nicely with our cat dad theme leading up to Father's Day. And one of the headlining bands, the Friday night headliner, Glamerica, is going to be on.
I love that name. It's such a good name.
I know. I'm excited. All right. So this is an interactive show. If you are watching live right now, there are a couple things we want you to do to be a part. Number one, if you have your KJ crew number, comment with it, check in, say, hey, crew number 32 here, crew number 1 here, crew number whatever. Crew number 2, Laura Long, thank you for watching live. We're so happy to have you here. Hi, Sam Jackson, crew number 9 checking in, and we'll be on the show later. Crew number 10, Leanne from Texas. Let us know where you are too. I know a lot of our viewers are in Indiana, which is where we're based, but we've got people watching all over the world. It's the worldwide network. So please check in. And if you don't have a crew number, did you see my camera just kind of got a little weird?
Said you're doing too much, KJ. Calm down.
It's the heat. It's the heat.
It's the full moon. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh, the full moon.
Plus Jonna. The full moon. It's over.
Can I tell you? I will say, thankfully, our cat Rhodey is home and resting it on some antibiotics. But we had to go to the ER last night with Rhodey.
Boy.
It was scary. And I'm not going to gross you out. What happened was gross, and I was like, nope, we got to go. That's blood. We got to go. But we got to bring our baby home, and that ER was full of people who were not so lucky. It was full of just like insanity. I mean, there was an ambulance called, like we saw a stretcher come in and we're like, that's not for a dog.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, it was insane.
That's
we were,
crazy.
It was definitely a full moon. If you don't believe that the full moon affects things, just sit in an ER or a vet ER on a full moon and you'll appreciate the effect that the moon
when
has.
It's a full moon, just stay in the house, honestly, because the worst thing that's going to happen is your TV is going to combust. But I mean, other than that, everything's fine.
Thank you very much, Ryan, crew number 20 checking in. Oh my gosh. And Lauren Wallace, a member of the Supernatural family, crew number 15. Thanks for being here again. kjcrew.com. I'll shoot you an email with your official crew number. And we're going to be doing when we get to 100 crew numbers, we're going to do $100 giveaway. So we're going to do an Amazon gift card. So
I'm going to sign up to be on the crew then.
I know, right? Okay. So, one more thing.
So many things today.
We need you to tell us something good. So as you're
Please.
checking in with your crew numbers, give us some good news. At the end of the show, we do the pet of the week, which I'm very excited about this week. We have video of our charming little pet this week. And we do tell me something good. So we leave you after the 60 minutes we've spent together. We leave you with some good news and a cute, cuddly pet. So as you finish out your evening, you leave with some positive vibes. And our positive vibes are brought to you by Summer Bash Indiana, an all-inclusive music festival. You are going to find out more about that coming up. There's 2 rules for Summer Bash. Jonna, what are they?
No glass is allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be a dick.
Thank you.
I'm going to get us t-shirts made with that on there so we can wear them.
Right? I wonder if they have those. We need those.
Sam, please get t-shirts made that say that because I need one immediately.
All right. And now it's time for poo poo pop pop pee pee poo poo pow 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 pow. What's popping with producer Jonna? Pow 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 pow.
So many plosives.
Well, we're getting close to the 4th of July. So.
Man, it's like a radio person's nightmare to have all those plosives.
Pow, 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 pow. I got a good mic. It absorbs the puh.
It's that windscreen you got on there.
It is, Jonna. All right. What's popping in pop culture?
All right. Well, I guess I'll start with the breaking supernatural news.
Yay!
Jensen Ackles reportedly 5 hours ago said that he quietly reported that he is going to be working on a new Batman project with the director of the Arrowverse, Greg Berlanti.
Oh my gosh. Greg's like,
great.
He's the one behind everything, really.
So maybe it'll be good.
I can't imagine, Jensen doing something that's not good. And there have been rumors for years that, and fans requesting that he do something with Batman.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the line, I am Batman, there has to be some way that he was going to be Batman somewhere.
So what I saw, what little bit I saw when that breaking news came out was he was talking about being in a recording studio and was like, I did some the Batman stuff, and then was like, oh, I don't want to drop that ball, kind of like never mind anyway. And then it was
just a little side project, like I was working on The Boys, but also being the voice of Batman, somewhere randomly,
Isn't he just so fun? I mean,
he's great. I love Jensen. I want to meet him so bad in person.
I'm caught up on The Boys.
I am not.
This is not any kind of spoiler, Jada, but I want you to know, because you've heard my story about when I was a little girl, what I wanted to be when I grew up was this dancer on this show in the 80s, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there's flashbacks to Soldier Boy in The Boys. And one of the flashbacks is him on solid gold. And I'm like, that was my show. I was supposed to be, and it's got, they did such a good job of making it authentic with the
he
dancers.
lived my dream.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was the show I wanted to be on.
She says, Soldier Boy lived my dream, guys.
My dream.
That is so funny.
So solid gold with your host, Marilyn McGoo, in the 80s. I wanted to be not just one of the dancers, but I wanted to be the head dancer.
Oh, the head girl in charge. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know big words like choreographer at the time.
Right.
But yeah, that was the first job that I wanted to have, was the head dancer on solid gold.
That's hilarious. I wanted to be a teacher.
Well, trust me, growing up on a farm in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin, they were like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you want to be what?
You don't want to live on the farm the whole time? How dare you?
You don't want to make 8,000 children and wake up in the morning and milk cows? Who are you? Yeah.
How dare you have dreams?
I lived a very different life than what was expected. All right, what else is going on?
All right, we got Lightyear coming out on the 17th with Chris
Yay.
Evans. So excited.
Yay! I cannot wait.
I'm loving all the videos from his press junket tour and like being at Disney. I'm just like, I love this man so much.
Oh my gosh, the photo of him on the red carpet with, I think it was a little boy and a little girl, and they were both wearing the Lightyear suits. I'm
Yes.
like, oh my gosh,
I love it.
my heart.
Yes.
And of course, they did this like big press release photo shoot with him and puppies.
Right.
That's
Oh
like-
God, I
like-
can't wait for the puppy interview. Also comes out on Friday, so
Oh,
I
does
can't
it?
wait. Yes, they confirmed it. I'm very active on Twitter when it comes to Chris Evans. So
Who did the puppy interview?
BuzzFeed,
Okay, all right.
so a legitimate source.
Oh my gosh, I
So
love it.
exciting.
And how weird, we celebrated Chris Evans' birthday on Monday, and I actually I bought myself a gift for Chris Evans'
I love
birthday.
that. I love that cup. You
I've
should
been-
watch that.
I've been needing to drink more water and I suck at it. So on Chris Evans' birthday, I went online and bought the biggest Tervis I could get because I thought I can't let the cap down. Like I have to promise the cap that I will drink 2 of these a day
Oh my God.
and get my fill of water. Otherwise, I'm disappointing. Oh, my hands! I'm disappointing the cap right
She
here.
said, I'm disappointing Black Widow.
Well, Black Widow would be disappointed as well.
Oh man, I cannot. You're too funny.
Anything else in pop culture?
Just
What's
a-
pop?
What's
What's poppin'?
poppin'?
Poppin'. I
I
should
got-
do that every time we change the set. What, Jonna? What else is poppin'?
I'm so sorry for the people who listen to this as a podcast.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
sorry.
Thank you so much.
Just 2 more things. David Letterman's new show on Netflix called That's All My Time with David Letterman. It's kind of like his show. My next guest needs no introduction.
Okay.
But it's more with like up and coming celebrities and comedians rather than like established celebrities. So
okay.
I'm super excited about
Oh,
that.
that's cool.
I love David Letterman.
I know. I appreciate that, like, in his retirement, that he's still wanting to do those interviews. He just I look up to him. I mean,
Oh yeah, 100%.
truthfully, like doing like this show, I mean, it's nowhere near on the level of it, David Letterman or Jimmy Fallon, but the vibe that I want for this show is that, like, let's have fun, let's get to know cool people, and also when we need to, let's make sure that people are doing good in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not afraid to put people in check or say when things need to change. Jimmy Fallon's the same way.
If I could like aspire to be an interviewer, it would be David Letterman. Like that. He is like the epitome of what a good interviewer is, and it just
I know.
makes me so happy.
If only. You're about to see my interviews with Supernatural, and I am no David Letterman.
You are not a David Letterman, but I love you anyway.
Thanks.
You're a KJ. That's what it is. But I have to tell you about this dream that I had about David Letterman.
Oh, please do. And then if you're just tuning in, you have not missed this is our Supernatural special. We are like 2 minutes away from getting into the cast members that we're going to have on, and Rich from Kansas giving us breaking news to us, maybe to you as well, about what the ending of Supernatural was supposed to be.
So good.
Okay, Jonna, back to you and your David Letterman dream.
Okay. So I don't even know why David Letterman was in my dream, honestly. So I have this dream that my family is throwing a barbecue and we're all at my mom's house because I just recently moved. So I don't live at my mom's house anymore.
Okay.
And I'm like in the basement. And first of all, the first person that comes in is Jesse McCartney. I had just seen him in concert.
Oh,
And he came into my house and everyone was like, hey, Jesse, what's up? And I'm like, do y'all not know who this is? This is like, they've been friends with him for like 20 years. Like, hey, Jesse, this is Jesse McCartney. What are you talking about? So I'm like freaking out and I call my bestie and I'm like, oh my God, Jesse McCartney's at my house for a barbecue. And then I hear someone calling my name, and I'm like, who's calling me? It's my dad, who unfortunately is deceased.
R.I.P.
He's resting in peace currently.
Mhm.
So I will not be celebrating Father's Day. But he's sitting
Same.
right. Me and KJ are gonna hang out on Sunday. That's really what's going on. But my dad is sitting at the dining room table with my laptop and with David Letterman. And he's like, oh, hey, Jonna, this is Dave. And I'm like, Dave? Like, you know him? This is David. Like, this is the man right here. Like my dad's like friends with David Letterman. So he's like, oh, can you give my daughter a job? I'm like, bruh, what's happening? How have I been alive for 27 years and didn't know you knew David Letterman? Like, I don't understand what the deal is.
I love our brains when we sleep, man.
It was insane.
My dream last night, it must have just been because I've been editing all of this supernatural stuff for the show, was that we were at a convention. It wasn't a supernatural convention, but it was like Comic-Con, like a big convention. But you and I went together.
Nice.
And
I'm glad I got invited.
Listen, all of a sudden, this guy grabbed me and he's like, KJ, we need you to moderate the supernatural stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm on it. But then the panel never got going because this is like so us, because they couldn't figure out the microphones. And I'm literally on stage with like Samantha Smith and Rob Benedict, and he's looking at me like, are we going to do this? And I'm like, I was just supposed to come to the con. I don't know why the microphones aren't working.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
I was so upset because I felt like I was disappointing the supernatural cast. I mean, they were all on stage. The boys were there. Dick Spade was there. Like, and I woke up and I literally was like, oh my God, I totally let down the entire supernatural family. And then I'm like, is this like an omen for tonight's show? Like everything's gonna go terrible and I'm gonna let down all the supernatural fans.
Oh my God. I'm over here in tears. That is so funny. But I've been there before, so I totally get it.
All right. Well, welcome to our Weird Dreams and the Supernatural special.
Yes.
Jonna, I do want to let you know, you brought up Jesse McCartney. New round of state fair concerts were announced today. Jesse McCartney's coming to the Indiana State
you don't
Fair.
think I already saw that and was like, I'm going because I'm going.
I have requested him to be a guest on the KJ Today Show.
No way.
Yes. And Kansas is coming to the Indiana State Fair, which is why I'll let Jonna have her freak out as we move into supernatural special mode. So the reason that I got to talk to Rich from Kansas is because they are coming to the Indiana State Fair, bringing their Kansas Classics tour on July 29th. So I'm going to be chatting with him a little bit coming up. But first, I wanted to share with you, and I'm so glad that we were able to get the video, and it's no offense, Jonna, but it's better quality than your cell phone video that we had last week for Yellowstone.
I know it was. I was just like, I was at Yellowstone. I was just so excited. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is actually happening right
now. So what you're about to see was at PopCon, which was the first weekend in June at the Indiana Convention Center. And Samantha Smith, Jake Abel, and Alaina Huffman were with us all weekend. And, we turned it over to the fans and had some really great conversation. The fans at PopCon just like brought the questions. Like, if you've been to a convention before, sometimes you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, these questions are the worst. No, this was some good stuff. So even if you haven't seen Supernatural at all, these clips are really fun. One of the clips I actually chose because Samantha Smith tweeted me and asked if I caught it on camera. We have Sofagate coming up, Samantha Smith.
That is so funny.
But first, one of the questions was directed at Jake first, asking if, because he spent a lot of time filming with the boys, and Jared and Jensen are
Did he though?
Well, Jared and Jensen are known for their pranks on set, right? And so the girl asked him if he was involved with any of the pranks, and it turned out that he was not, but Alaina had a prank to share, and it turned out that Samantha Smith was actually pranked in the process, and they didn't realize it.
Oh man.
Did you ever get to be involved with any pranks? He was like, come on in and we're going to prank somebody else?
Not that I can think of. I don't think so.
Well, we pranked Mark Shepard. It wasn't Jared or Jensen, but me and Ruth.
A warning, there is some
and our friend
language
Michelle,
here.
who runs Stands, the merch company, and we got all these calendars of Misha and plastered his trailer with Misha pictures, and I think Mark loved it. I put pictures of Misha in his toilet, in his shower, in his shoes.
I used Mark's trailer the next week, and I was finding pictures of Misha fucking everywhere. I'm
Everywhere.
like, what is there? Why is there a stack of Misha's calendar under the sink?
And Phil was directing that episode, Phil Sarisha, and he was like, "You assholes, you're so cranky." But he had so much fun. We got there's videos of it out there somewhere. He literally
That
because
explains
Mark
a
is
question I've had for a long
notoriously
time.
we snuck in his trailer and plastered it. But he's notoriously early. He's always showing up to work early. Like if you ever do conventions with him, he's always the first person there. And so we were like, we knew he'd be early, but he was like really early. And then Misha kept coming out. Misha was in a scene and he kept coming out. He's like, did he come up yet? Did he come yet? We'll call you when he comes. Anyways, it was really fun.
And you had no idea that then you pranked Sam as well.
Well, because most of it was down, but like I would.
It was like in drawers. It was in his
Yes.
microwave. I put him
Yes, so
everywhere.
and then my wardrobe. I opened the closet to get my clothes for the day, and there was like stack of calendars, and I'm like, why? I don't
The best part is Misha was in on the prank, and he's like, I don't know if I feel great about this because it's funny or horrible because none of my calendars sold.
Oh man, I love that Alaina was in on and so committed, and then the entire time, the entire panel was just like going back to these jokes about Mark Shepard.
Right. They talked about Mark so bad in that
They
panel.
did. They love him so much, but it was like, oh my gosh, they just like, you could tell that they love him. And it was the same when we interviewed Ruthie Connell at the Giving Tour. She adores Mark and was like talking about that stuff too. Like she always liked to have fun with him.
Yeah.
And maybe Mark will get, Mark follows me on Twitter.
I did know that.
I still don't know why. And I get nervous every time he likes one of my tweets. I'm like, because it'll be out of nowhere. It'll be like a year and I haven't heard from him. And then all of a sudden he'll like one of my cat tweets. And I'm like,
that's literally me whenever Chad Michael Collins likes one of my pictures on Instagram. Like I'll post a picture and it'll be like, Chad Michael Collins liked your picture. And I'm like, my picture?
He's blown up from Call of Duty.
I know.
Modern Warfare. Yeah.
We should get him on the show.
He's willing to come anytime, but this is a little kind of nerdy girl stuff. We have a podcast called The Kind of Nerdy Girls, and we have to be careful because we'll take it over here. But hi, Patches.
Hello.
Chad Michael Collins from Call of Duty Modern Warfare and the Sniper movies wants to come back on our show when we've all caught up on G.I. Joe because he wants to play G.I. Joe, Wed, Work With, or Wipe Out.
I feel like we should be able to get him on the show just because we watched Moon Knight. I feel like
he hasn't watched Moon Knight yet.
Chad, get on it, man.
I know. Listen, Chad, I'm telling you right now, we're good on our G.I. Joe. I mean, Jonna's not. She's never going to be. I am ready to do G.I. Joe, Wed, Work With, or Wipe Out. Because when we had him on the show, we did Marvel because he's a huge nerd. And he was like, when I come back, let's do G.I. Joe. So we're ready. But you need
So
to watch Moon Knight,
let-
dude,
let
because
me
Moon Knight
ask.
is his favorite character
Right,
of all time.
literally, that's all I'm saying.
So let me ask this: Is it
Go ahead,
are you caught up on GI Joe cartoon or GI Joe like?
I mean, I watched a
Channing
cartoon when I was
Tatum
little.
and Marlon Wayans and
I'm good with it all.
the ultimate the handsomest
I
man
watched
on
it
the
all.
planet.
I'm sorry,
Dwayne
Patches.
"The
This is
Rock"
the
Johnson.
Supernatural special. I'm going to need you to keep the show on time as a producer and keep me focused. Thank you. He's like, hey, want to talk G.I. Joe? Save that for Chad Michael Collins. Coming soon to the KJ Today Show. All right, our
I'm
next
gonna
clip.
make that a teaser so we can tweet it at him.
Please do. Our next clip on the Supernatural special, I'm telling you. So you saw in the first clip, these the couches that they were sitting on were beautiful. Like when I walked into the main stage and was like, wow, I'm going to be moderating it on a stage with these cool people, and the couches were all silvery and shiny, but they were blow up. You wouldn't know
They
that.
were like good quality blow up
Right?
furniture though. It wasn't the
Right.
stuff we had in the 90s. Like it was really good quality blow up furniture.
It was like excellent quality. But in the middle of sharing a story, we had a Sofagate
We had
issue.
We had an incident.
And so what you're about to see, a fan asked for memorable moments that the three of them could talk about that they'd had with a fan. And Samantha was talking about how she had just been to the Container Store because, you know, celebrities need good storage too.
They do, in fact.
Right. And so she's at the Container Store and she's getting the, you know, stuff to reorganize her closet. And this happens. And then this happens.
Doing some kind of like reorganization, and they had some like tape tied across the thing holding off this special section, and they were organizing, going in and out and stepping over this tape, and I'm like just doing my thing, and before, then this poor guy was backing up to look at something and tripped and went like feet up, just flat on his back. Everything flew out of his pockets, like keys, his razor knife, like his clipboard went flying, and he was just lying there, and all of his friends were like, "Ah!" They went and picked him up, and he's standing there, and he's like, oh, and they're like, did you hit your head? And I'm just standing there, and and the razor knife was still there on the ground, so I went over, and I was,
And I deflated a couch.
Do you have the razor knife in your pocket? Okay, guys.
She like deflated the whole
Let me
scene.
roll up here.
What's this?
Right.
You get down there and you blow it back
plug
up, Sam.
malfunction.
You put your lips on that valve and you blow
There we
it back
go.
up.
I'm gonna sit over here. I think
You just get to
the
slowly
bouncing, the
sink
Oompa
into the
Loompa
ground.
thing destroyed the couch. That's way funnier than the rest of my story.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot. That was so funny.
That was immediately when I tweeted out that I was going to be playing back highlights from our panel together. She responded, but did you catch Sofagate? And I was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah, of course
yes,
she did.
yes, we did. Jake was a doll, by the way, and super funny.
I love Jake.
We'll be posting more of the panel because, I mean, we spent an hour together. There's so much that we could share.
We're all basically besties now, so
I
like,
know,
you know,
right?
whatever.
So there'll be more. So make sure that you follow PopCon. PopCon is what powers the KJ Today show.
Wait
So
till y'all see the end credits.
oh man, we appreciate PopCon so much. And PopCon is going to be back next year, even though you're seeing those dates for June. Next year, it will be in August. So follow PopCon on Facebook and follow me for all things PopCon, or go right to the website, popcon.us. Okay, so the big moment, guys, is if having Samantha Smith, Jake Abel, and Alaina Huffman wasn't big enough for
Right.
our Supernatural special here. I got to talk to Rich Williams from Kansas. He's a legendary guitarist. They are coming to the Indiana State Fair on July 29th. And I prepared for this like talking to a legendary musician, right? Like we're going to go into the deep cuts and the inspiration and like the, you know, like all the things that the musicians want to talk about,
Yeah,
right?
that 100%.
No, we talked about Supernatural and cats.
I mean, what else do you talk about with KJ though? Like, if you're being honest, like if anybody does their research on you, like if you look up KJ, there's a picture of a cat next to your name. They're like, honestly.
And so we're going to start with the Supernatural stuff, even though we got on the cat topic first. Like I had to, and I will post this entire interview for you on the KJ Today YouTube as well, because we talked for like a half an hour and he was interesting and awesome the entire time. But there was a moment where he was talking about the pandemic stuff where he said something about cats. And I was like, what? Well, hang on.
She said, we got to come back to
You
that.
got cats. So, and I did. I literally said, like, we're going to need to come back to the cat thing that you brought up. And then I couldn't get him to stop talking about his cat. So I had to okay, man, cool about your cats. Let's talk about Supernatural. So for you guys first, before we go into the KJ Today show celebrating cat dads as we lead up to Father's Day, this is listen to this man talk. About 30 seconds in, he starts saying stuff about the Supernatural finale and what was supposed to happen.
He
and
was spilling the tea.
And
okay.
I was, and you hear me go, mm-hmm.
Like she wasn't freaking out.
Like
on
I'm
the
like,
inside.
oh yeah, mm-hmm, yeah. And I'm like, does he know? Like, is he supposed to be telling me this? Like, because he can't see me. He's on the phone, right? So I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I'm like, mm-hmm. So
I could just tell while I was listening to it. I was like, she is freaking out. She's like, yeah, I might have heard something about that.
I don't think anybody knows this. I don't think they ever told us this is how Supernatural was supposed to end. So what you're going to hear first is I asked Rich to talk about the relationship with the band and how they met. And he was talking about how they got connected for the San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep.
When Kansas, they were so honored. Like they were like, why is this song so connected to the show? We don't understand. And so it was their introduction to why Supernatural fans love them as a band so much.
And it was an unbelievable production. And nobody knew what was going to happen. All of a sudden we start playing and it was, I don't know how many, 5,000 kids in there. It was incredible. So what was going to happen? We, met the guys and the producer and stuff. The most down-to-earth, humble, normal guys you would ever meet. Very courteous, very friendly. I was really impressed with them. They wanted us to be in the final show.
Mm-hmm.
So they had kind of built that around us. And where they're sitting in Vancouver, they had built this whole set for it where it was all going to come together in this big bar and final scene and stuff. And we were going to be performing there. And we were about to get on the plane to go, really, when COVID hit.
Oh my gosh.
And so all of that was shut down, and they had to do a rewrite of everything. And by the time they rewrote it and finished the show, there was no way to get us on. We had prior commitments, etc. So that was heartbreaking to not get to do it again. But we recently did an episode of Walker.
I saw that. So is that what came out of that? Like you maintained that relationship with Jared and they were like, let's get you on the show?
They were both there. One of them directed that episode.
Oh, okay.
And they really wanted to complete the process. And we were playing in Austin, which was where they shoot the show, and we coordinated to where we were playing, which is where they shoot Austin City Limits. That's where our show was. So they shot it there. And again, running into the guys, you couldn't meet two greater guys than them. I can't say enough about how normal and nice they are. These guys are they're as well known as anybody on Earth right now.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's special. Worldwide. To have any connection to that is pretty awesome.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe you were containing so well over there. I was at home editing and I was like, oh my God, what?
So Jonna and I, during the pandemic, we were in each other's bubbles.
Yes.
But we still, when the Supernatural finale happened, we set up outside in our garage. We bought a little movie screen, and
Yes.
we sat out in the garage.
Yep.
We were like, COVID will not stop us from watching
We
the Supernatural.
socially distanced and everything.
Everything.
we
we sat on
did.
one
Yes, we
side
did.
of the garage. Jonna sat on the other, and we were so mad.
Oh God. So like I was so upset. Like I was mad, but I was still crying because it was over. Like, oh,
It was. This is.
I don't want to relive it. You know what's funny is when I tell people, I'm like, okay, if you want to start watching Supernatural, when you get to season 15, there's gonna be an episode where everything's fine and it seems like the show is over. Stop there.
Stop there.
Don't keep going.
Stop there. Right. Don't do that
It's
last
a trap.
episode.
Yep.
And Rich is sitting there, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean," and you can hear it. He's like, "It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be in a bar with Kansas to end the show, and what we got was that."
That.
Yes.
How dare
like-
you?
Now,
What are you doing?
like the writers, the actors, everybody did the best they could, right?
Yes.
I will never give them any flack. I mean, the fact that they even finished the show with everything that was going against them,
Yeah, literally.
I love them for that. But when I was listening to him talk, I'm like going back to sitting in my garage going, this is how Supernatural is ending.
With a
was
bad
outside-
wig?
I was
Come
outside
on.
freezing and crying, and I could have seen Kansas on Supernatural.
Oh my God.
No,
So
I get it.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody in the comments, if anybody had heard that. I had not heard that. My friends that I talked to that are close with the show did not know that. So if you need to process that for a second, we can have a Supernatural support group after the show.
Honestly.
I'm here for you. Right? This is positive vibes, you guys.
This is a safe
Yep.
space, guys.
Yeah,
okay?
that's right.
Yes,
that's
we
right.
don't talk about negative wigs.
That's right. The positive vibes here and no negative wigs. Brought to you by Summer Bash, Indiana, an all-inclusive music festival, which we are going to be talking about coming up here in just a few minutes with one of the headliners, Glamerica, one of the organizers who's going to tell us about that ticket that includes so much. I mean, it's drinks and it's hamburgers and it's hot dogs and it's the camping and it's the 2 stages and the 17 bands.
It's all the things.
And it's July 8th and 9th. So hang on because we're going to get into that. But first, continuing on with our friend Rich from Kansas, we actually did talk some music. So when you go to the KJ Today YouTube page, which is just youtube.com/KJ Today, I'm going to set up an interviews playlist. So all the clips that you hear here, if you want more from like Colton Haynes and Peter Facinelli and Rick Springfield and everybody that we've had on the show, we'll have that interview page for you. Rich and I talked some music. We talked about what it was like to not tour for 18 months because he's one of the original members that has always been in the band. Talked about writing music in the pandemic and how different that was because they do have a new album out. But he was talking about how it was just him and his wife in the pandemic and figuring out, things to do and how to, survive when it's just the 2 of you and your cats. And I'm like, oh, I know about what it's like to be just the 2 of you and your cats. Let's talk about your cats. And it turns out, and as I'm listening to him talk, I want you to know that I'm thinking, this is gold. And he's going to be our featured cat dad this week. And poor Dustin Perry from Ghost Hunters
Gosh,
is going to get moved again.
We've been trying to feature Dustin Perry. What is this, week 7? Week 7.
We were supposed to have him on show number 1. I'm the worst. Poor Dustin Perry. He's the Matt Damon of the Jimmy Kimmel show. Like Jimmy always thought, I wish we had time for Matt Damon. I promise, Dustin Perry, you're going to be the featured cat dad.
Dustin, I promise I will make sure you're on next week. I edited that like weeks ago.
You did. But here is legendary guitarist Rich Williams from Kansas talking about how he became a cat dad.
I had always been a dog guy. I've never really been around cats. I didn't, some people just hate cats, and I never quite understood that. I was just a little bit indifferent. I've never really been around them much. So I'm on the road, and my wife had picked up my daughter and her daughter. They're going to this little vacation up in Chesapeake Bay area.
Mhm.
On the way to pick my daughter up, and they all three of these, my wife and her daughters are big into rescue and that kind of stuff. So see somebody dart across the road and back, and so Mom turned around. So she turned around, goes back, and there was 2 kittens down in this culvert in the middle of nowhere in Virginia.
Aww.
And they were only 6 weeks old. So they stopped and they finally got one of them to come out. They stopped and got there's the chickens, so they got one to come out. The other one was quite a bit more feral, and they finally got her. And so I found out on the internet that I was now a cat owner. It was on a Wednesday in Virginia, so it's Wednesday in Virginia,
Aww.
and that's their names.
How old are
so
they now?
They're 6.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We have provided a palace for them that they live in, and we visit once in a while. They sit there out the window and watch all the animals all day. They're indoor cats.
Mm-hmm.
We call her Jenny from Virginia. She's my cat, and she was the feral one. I am the only person on earth that she has really a connection with. She does with my wife to some extent, but I mean, I can, pet her, and she comes up and head butts me, and
Aww.
she's just the sweetest thing to me. But she's terrified of the rest of the world, or very, again, feral. Whereas Wednesday is just a typical house cat that loves everything that walks in the door. But we have become a tribe. They after once just in the last few months, Virginia now sleeps in between our pillows. It took her 6 years to get comfortable enough to do that. Now, it's been very cool. I can't imagine not having it now.
I love it. Like, legendary guitarist from the amazing band Kansas. And he's like, she cuddles with me now.
She loves
She
me.
loves me. I'm her human. Oh, look at Miss Melody. Speaking of being great cat dad, look at producer Patches.
Aw.
By the way, June is Adopt a Shelter Cat Month. So if you are,
Why did you look right at me when you said that? I'm
Right?
not gonna get a
No, I just mean for anybody out there, any guys out there who want to become a cat dad, a cool dude like Rich Williams from Kansas or producer Patches,
That's right.
you can adopt a cat.
Wow.
And
Lots
you
of cat dads out there.
That's
I found out.
right.
I was very surprised at how many men on Tinder were like, "Yeah, I have cats," and I'm like, "Really?"
And just to make it
It's a trap.
completely. Just to make it completely official, Jana, I already have our special guest graphic lined up for next week. And check this out.
Oh, Raisin.
There is Dustin Perry from the Ghost Hunters with his cat Raisin, and Gina Davis is going to be on the show next week.
Super jealous. I'm not going to be there for that interview.
I am actually talking with her tomorrow. So if you have any questions for Gina Davis, oh my gosh, please give them to me, because I can't even believe I get 8 minutes with Gina Davis tomorrow.
Ooh.
I know.
It's gonna be so fun.
She's hosting a film festival that focuses on films have women and diversity in them. And so
Nice.
I'm like, they were like, do you want to talk to her about that? I'm like, yeah.
Excuse me, of course.
If you were like, do you want to talk to Gina Davis about toilet paper? I would be like, yes, but
I want to talk to Gina Davis about breathing.
right.
Okay,
But like, she wants to talk about women and diversity, and like, I'm totally down for that.
Let's do it.
So please bring your questions and get ready next week for Gina Davis and Dustin Perry finally on the show with his cat Raisin. Yay!
Nick Damon.
And speaking of cat dads, I am very excited to bring our next guest on to the show. He is one of the founders of Summer Bash, Indiana, July 8th and 9th. The KJ Today show is going to be live. This is an all-inclusive concert experience, the food, the booze, the camping, the live music. You see it all there. And Sam Jackson is the mastermind behind it all.
Oh man, Sam's
One-
got such a dope beard. Oh
one-
my gosh.
One of the masterminds.
Your partner is Brandon, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Brandon and his wife Renee. It's the
Okay.
three of us who started this. So
Awesome. So we're going to bring the headlining band on here with us in just a second for Friday night. But first, I kind of wanted to, get your just straight from your mouth, like, what is Summer Bash Indiana? Because I when you and I started talking, I knew it was something special. But since I started putting it out there that the show is going to be there, the response has just been amazing. Like, people are like, this is my favorite weekend. You're joining our family. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I thought I was just going to see some live music. This is like an experience, right?
yeah, and that's the thing is we kind of call this the family reunion you actually want to go to. So it's people that, we may only see each other once a year, but that weekend that we have together, like it's built lifelong friendships. The music has created, just this whole little social network of our own, and a following, which, once you hopped on board, you got a taste of it real quick. I mean, these guys, and they're all about the positivity, which works out great. So. And
the water bowl is pretty like relaxed, right? Like it's a place where you go and chill.
Yeah. So they have a beach and a lake. They've got a little bit of playground equipment. People can camp up there like during the year. They're open from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So, like you can go up there, like if you guys aren't busy this weekend, you can run up there and then check the place out and see how things look. And we were actually up there last weekend helping them get some stuff prepared and get some stuff moved around. So, but no, I mean, for us, this is an important thing because live music is important. And while, I would love to see some bigger bands, with 10,000 other people, there's just something about a small intimate show where you can interact with the bands. You can get to learn who they are, what kind of people they are, and be a part of creating something. So that's been kind of our I don't want to say mission, but that's been kind of our focus for a long time, is finding these smaller local and regional bands. We've got a couple national touring acts that have come with us. One of our past bands they're doing a reality show with Alice Cooper and Lizzie Hale, Gavin Rossdale right now. I mean, it's blowing up.
That's crazy. So. You're like, those guys were at the Water Bowl with us. They were at Summer Bash, Indiana. Now they're like hanging out with Alice Cooper.
Yeah, so it's pretty special.
And it's all inclusive for two reasons. One, because everybody is welcome. Correct. And then this is it's an amazing ticket. It's an $80 ticket, but we've got a discount code. We've got a $10 off code if you use KJ today when you get your tickets. This is all inclusive. Tell us. You do,
but I've
take
got
it away, Sam.
I've got a little bit on that too. We've all been there. We've all bought concert tickets where, it's $50. By the time you get to the checkout, it's, $300. It's ridiculous. So when you buy your $80 ticket, it includes everything. So it includes your parking for both days. If you're a tent camper, it includes your camping for both days. All day Saturday, we do hamburgers and hot dogs. Those are all included. We do soda, water, beer, and wine. Again, as much as you'd like, responsibly. Knock on wood, we've never had an issue in all the years we've done this. Including one of the very first ones when we did all hard liquor, so which legally we can't do anymore. So,
oh man, the stories from that year.
I don't remember many of them. So the $80 includes everything, and so and also the all inclusive on the other side of the coin is. We don't care, we're not here to judge people on their beliefs, their politics, their skin, their gender, anything else. Leave all that stuff at the door. It's about creating that atmosphere of live music and camaraderie and family. And so that's kind of our big thing. So
I'm excited.
But a little bit of breaking news, since you guys are all about the breaking news.
We are.
KJ, you partner with a shelter out of Muncie called Grateful Rescue.
Yes.
And so we've had some conversations over the past week or so, and we kind of want to help. So I actually haven't even announced this on our page yet. So
Ooh, breaking news.
So what we're going to do, we're going to set up a couple things.
Hang on just a second, Sam. Hang on. Tell me something good.
Okay.
Tell me something good, Sam. Come on.
So we're going to set up some things. So if the people who already have tickets that are coming, if they want to come and donate a little bit of money, or if they want to bring some, pet supplies, some pet food, things like that to donate to the shelter, we're absolutely going to do that. We're going to be doing some giveaways and some silent auctions on some really cool stuff, which we'll go into detail later on. But if anybody's watching this and they haven't got tickets to Summer Bash Indiana yet, if you go to summerbashindiana.com and use the promo code KJ today, you're going to get $10 off that $80 ticket. We are also going to donate $10 to Grateful Rescue for every ticket sold with KJ's code, starting from when this started at the beginning of the month all the way until the bash. So we're going to double dip on this. So $10 for you, $10 for the animals.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sam. Now tell me about your cat.
My cat, which is currently laying on my bed across the room here. His name is Tigger. He is 8 years old-ish, as far as we know. When we got him from the shelter, he was very skittish. He wasn't a big fan of people. The lady from the Southside shelter was like, hey, he had one owner, and he's just doesn't like people. And, I like a challenge. So we brought him home, and it took a long time. It really did. It took years. But now it's to the point like we'll sit on the couch and watch TV, and he'll pop right up beside me and give me a nice little headbutt. And when we sit down and watch Survivor together, he'll watch Survivor with us. And
nice.
Gives me kisses.
He's like I love seeing humans struggle out in the wild. It's about time.
It's like it's payback. But yeah, so I mean, he's been a part of a lot. So like I said, right now he's currently sleeping on the bed. But if I went over there right now and grabbed him, he'd sit up, he'd meow, he'd give me a kiss, and he'd go right back to sleep. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you for indulging me with our cat
absolutely.
Dad theme. Let's bring our friends in who are going to be a part of this wonderful event, Summer Bash Indiana.
Yay!
It's so great to see you guys.
Hey.
Hello, Glamerica. Woo!
Long time no see, KJ. It's been like a whole year.
I know. I think last time we talked, you were rocking the
Fishers Fair.
The Fishers, right? Sparks Fishers. Yeah. All right. And this year you're rocking Summer Bash Indiana with us. I'm so excited.
So earlier he was talking about the whole, family dynamic. Like, reason we love this, we're the glam fam. Glamerica is a glam fam. We go into the Summer Bash fam. It's all connected and it's beautiful and amazing.
Oh, you've got some family in the house there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jason, for watching. So tell us about, what you guys bring to Summer Bash, because it's like my favorite music ever.
Yeah, we bring the fun.
We like to say when we go to Summer Bash, that's where Glamerica is at its prime. That's where we can fully be the crazy, bring the craziness of the 80s.
A lot of energy.
So much energy.
A lot of energy. All the good songs. All the good songs from the 80s too.
What are some of your favorite songs that because you have to play them over and over? So like, what is it you're like every time? Man, I love playing this.
You go first. You go first.
Okay. Well, I will definitely say I love playing Round and Round from Rat. I really like that. Motley Crue. We play a lot of Motley Crue, so everything Motley Crue.
Girls, 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 10 out of 10 every time. Love playing that song.
Nice. Our youngest cat here, his name is Malcolm Motley. Malcolm is his forever name, but when he was at the shelter, they named him Motley, and I understand why now that we have him. Yeah. Yeah, he is rocking out his best life, man.
If I could ask a question, So when you guys do like when you're gonna add a song, like an impromptu song in your set, what is one of the like big hair band songs that you're like, you look at each other and you go, we're gonna do this one tonight?
Ooh.
Oh, Patches with the
Never
big
been
question.
asked
I don't know.
Okay.
Nobody asked that.
I feel like I mean, like Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, and Poison are like the three big ones that people are like, "Are you going to do any of this tonight?" And it's like, of course we are.
Oh, yeah.
We just played one song. We got 3 more hours of this. You got to get this in it because it's just loaded with those. And we bring in Prince. We do Lita Ford.
We do Tesla.
We do some Tesla.
I
Yes.
love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you do Warrant Down Boys? I'm just kind of
We
wondering on that.
used to.
We
and I
used to.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh,
We played Heaven last week, so
I love it. Love it.
It was one of our wedding songs, so thank you.
They announced today, you guys, that with the new round of State Fair concert announcements, that Vixen is coming to the
I
Indiana
saw
State
that.
Fair. We have to go.
Right.
Actually, I don't know if Def is going to be upset that I'm saying this, but we're adding Vixen. We're adding a Vixen song.
Oh.
Yay!
Breaking news, right? Breaking news.
Breaking
I
news.
love it.
Hey, we told you something good.
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Living on
I
the edge
told
of
them
that
something
broken
good.
heart right there. Yes,
Vixen
let's
is
do it.
coming, and we're getting a Vixen song in Summer Bash, Indiana. It's the best news ever. Thank you guys so much. I just am so excited about this, and I know last year when we were talking about Sparks Fishers, that we were supposed to get together, and I had a scheduling conflict. So I'm like, when I saw you guys were on the ticket for Summer Bash Indiana, I was like, it's our moment. It's our moment. We're going to have so much fun.
Not even gonna lie, I called my mom once I realized it. I burst into tears. I'm so excited to finally meet you in real life. I'm so
Oh my gosh.
I've
Oh
been
my
listening
gosh.
to you since I was little, so like this is yay.
Aw.
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, you told me something good.
So dramatic.
This is going to turn into the Pee Wee Herman show. There's going to be a secret room. We're all just going to start screaming.
All right, I want to thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. I hate that this show is only an hour, but we're gonna keep you posted. Oh, that's your mom. Oh, hi, mom.
Hashtag Marty Party.
Oh. A reminder, summerbashindiana.com is when you get your where you get your tickets. Use that KJ Today promo code to save $10 and donate $10 to Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary. And we've got, plenty of time ahead. So please keep us posted on what's going on. If, especially if you're going to add some cool auction items and things like that, Sam. And Glamerica, keep us posted on what you're adding to the set list, and we'll keep hyping it up, and we will see you guys at the Water Bowl for Summer Bash Indiana. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, guys. Again, the positive vibes on the KJ Today show brought to you by Summer Bash Indiana. And as you can tell, it's just a great group of people, and it's 17 bands in 2 stages. I mean, you can't go wrong. So I hope to see you there. Now, Jonna, I know we've been working on Tell Me Something Good. We had a lot of great stuff coming in from our guests tonight, which was awesome. I've got a pet of the week that we are going to do, and then we are going to bring you that good news from you. So if you've got something good to share, an anniversary, a job promotion, a burrito that was delicious,
I feel like we're on Blue's Clues.
whatever
And
it is.
you.
And you. Yes. Bring me the good news as I bring you the pet of the week. And again, I scroll through, I pick randomly. I want to say thank you to everybody who submitted their pet this morning. If you want to do this Wednesday mornings, I put up a post. I'm looking for a pet of the week. You throw your pet up there. You make me happy all day long because I get to look at all these cool pets. And then I scroll through randomly and pick because I can't be like, that one's the best pet. So this week, your pet of the week, brought to you by Storms and Melodies, is Rue. Rue's mom, Shannon, says they share a birthday. She's a cat who thinks she's a boxer like her siblings. Every night, I have to get her iPad out so she can watch the birds on YouTube, as you can see.
That's hilarious.
No joke. She has her own iPad, and she also enjoys getting her makeup done. Here's Rue appreciating that she's getting a little blush, a little, that HD powder to hide all the wrinkles. Oh, thank you so much.
I cannot even.
Thank you
so funny.
so much, Shannon, for sharing Rue with us. And I look forward to seeing your pets and possibly featuring them on an upcoming KJ Today show. If you are listening, if you're consuming this as a podcast, thank you for listening. If you want to watch the show, we're live on Wednesday nights at 7, but you can also watch anytime on demand. Just go to youtube.com/KJ Today. All right, Jonna, I'm so ready for this. Get the fireworks out. Tell me something good. Woo!
So dramatic. Well, my good news is I moved into my new apartment last weekend.
Yes, everybody celebrate Jonna. This is your first apartment by yourself.
Yes,
right?
I know.
All right. I'm so proud.
I can't wait to be coming to KJ's house all the time for dinner.
Listen, you got part of this.
Especially that you only live literally 5 minutes away now.
Literally.
Yes. This was part of how the show came together. It was like, oh my gosh, we can totally do this. You're going to be 2 minutes down the street.
Yeah.
Like this was meant to be.
Always in
and by you watching the show and our sponsors like PopCon and Summer Bash and Indy Holistic Hub, we appreciate you so much because you are helping us keep the positive vibes going and you help Jonna get her new place.
Right. But besides me, one of our favorite nerds, our little geeklings, have a dance recital this weekend since we've been talking about KJ wanting to be a dancer.
Oh my gosh, those poor girls will never get to be on Solid Gold. Gone too soon, Solid Gold. Let's see. The girls have their dance recital this weekend. They've been practicing super hard for a few months. Thank you very much, Ryan Jordan, for sharing. Tell the girls best of luck and not to give up on their dancing dreams.
Tell them to break a leg.
They too could end up in their home in an office with 7 cats doing a show.
And 15 ring lights.
Instead of dancing.
I have no response to that.
Don't forget the exclusive after show is What's Cooking with Patches and the Cats, only on my Facebook page. So if you're watching on the PopCon page, you're watching on Twitter or YouTube or Twitch, head over to facebook.com/KJ on the air and we'll find out what's cooking with Patches next. Next week, again, oh my gosh, it's finally going to happen, you guys. Number one, Gina Davis. I can't even believe that.
So jealous.
That's going to happen.
So jealous.
Right? Gina Davis next week on the show.
Patches is so upset.
And finally, to
Love
celebrate
Gina
cat
Davis so
dads as we celebrate Father's Day, Dustin Perry from Ghost Hunters will join us with his amazing cat, Raisin. Thank you so much for watching. We are going to end the show the way most shows do, with end credits.
With
but
the best part of the show, aside from Summer Bash and Glamerica.
Thank you. Most shows don't work as hard as we do on the end credits. So
Honestly.
please sit back and enjoy.